Welcome everyone to today's BookWidgets webinar. This is a session for advanced users, but it's okay if you're new to BookWidgets because we'll give you plenty of tips and tricks to help you get started. The topic of today's webinar is the power of the planner widget. We're going to be creating some interactive learning paths. My name is Kate Baker. I'm a veteran educator. I've been in education for 25 years. 20 of those I was teaching ninth grade English. And here I am with you with BookWidgets as the head of community engagement. So excited to see you all here today joining me. You can always stay connected. You can email me if you have any additional questions after the webinar. And also stay connected on LinkedIn and Blue Sky. And again, joining me in the chat is my colleague Frederick. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them throughout the webinar. All right, so those of you, if you are new to BookWidgets, BookWidgets is a content creation and evaluation tool for teachers. We help you save time and energy with 40 different activity templates and 36 different question types so that you can build a variety of lessons for your students. We have learning management system integration. We also have the ability to monitor student progress live when you're using that LMS integration. And then we have a reporting dashboard for everyone, whether you're using the web or an LMS, where you can see some insightful learning statistics so that you can review student work and help guide them throughout their learning process. Okay, so for today's webinar, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look specifically at the planner widget. If you're interested in other webinar topics, feel free to go to bookwidgets.com/webinars. We have getting started, as well as some other pedagogical topics. So today we're going to look at 3 different planner options. We're going to look at how to create a planner widget and what are the steps for sharing it, and then also monitoring the planner. So for the planner, we really have 3 different options. You can set up the planner so that it becomes like a choice board where students can choose activities from a list and they complete them in the planner. You can do what we might call a half and half planner, where students can have some choice, but then there's also some tasks that they must complete that are important for them to do and that everyone must do. And then we also have a strict learning path planner, where students must follow the learning path dictated by the teacher, and there's no opportunity for choice. I've got quite a few examples to show you what they look like. So, and again, you're going to get a copy of these slides. So as I go through, if there's something else you want to explore, you'll be able to revisit these at a later time. So let's take a look at the empty planner. So think of this like a choice board where the students are going to be selecting what tasks they want to complete. So here we have a digital book report. We got a nice engaging background image of a bookshelf, and we have our first task on the planner is instructions. So we can see on this that there is a little arrow icon here, which indicates I need to click on this to see what are the instructions. So we get, this is a book report. We're going to choose 3 different activities from the list and complete them. We're going to click on the plus icon, and we can see that the activities are color coded with different categories. Let's go back to the planner list. So where are the activities that we need to do for this? Well, I'm going to come up here to the plus icon in the top corner. I can say, I'm going to click on the plus icon, and then now I can see here are items that I, as the student, can choose from to create my list. So if I know I need to select one from every category that's color coded here, I can say, I want to do the selfie mirror. I click on it. It now appears here. Let's do a letter to the author. I'm going to do, emoji summary. And then I like character portrait. And then there's also, I can see also that there's a checklist to do too, if I want. All right, so now I, as the student, I've chosen the things that I want to complete in this. I've already done the instructions. I read them. If I need to read them again, I can just click on it. Okay. Oh, choose two different categories. I was a little bit of an overachiever. Let's go back. And if I say, I don't need to do all of this, I got at least got 4 different colors, I can say, I don't want to do the character portrait. Hit the trash can and boom, it's gone from my list. Now I did do my instructions, so I'm going to check that box. And then you can see how nice it is that it's kind of faded out. But if I need to get back to it, I can still return to it. And then as I navigate to each task, again, I can click the icon to go to it. But if I say, I don't want to do it in this order, I can just grab the task card and I can change the order of what I want to do when. So when we say it's an empty planner, it's actually full of opportunities for students to be self-directed with their learning. And then again, click on the link, takes us to the activity. It's another widget that has been embedded here. And then you'll see the navigation up in the top corner. I can go back to my list of items to do. And if I need to clear it out as a student and I say, you know what, I just want to start over. I don't like any of these choices. Hit the trash can. I'm going to clear and start over. And then now I'm back to that empty state. Okay, so this is one. This is the book report. Let's go see another example. Here we have one for sustainable development goals. So if you're doing any climate change education, this planner is for you. So this one, we have a number of different activities. So this is a little bit more about students working together, a little bit more blended learning. They don't necessarily have to be faces and screens, but they're going to create a group with 2 fellow students and pick 3 assignments to focus on for SDG week. Okay, let's get started. Okay, again, empty planner. I got to come up here to the plus icon. Now here's my list, and I can see here's all the different activities. I can have a discussion with my teammates, and I can say, let's do sustainable cities. Let's do life below water. And I get a lot of choice that's built into this. And then I can come to the activity, click on the icon. It takes me to that other widget. I can do the task. So this one's a checklist widget. And then go back to the planner. Check the box that I've done it. Go to the next one. Okay. And then, this one's a planner inside of a planner. So now I have this one where I'm doing World Ocean Day. I can go do these activities, complete the task, navigate back to my planner. And if you notice, we're not opening up into another tab, another window. So we're keeping students kind of on a pathway. We're using the buttons in the corner to navigate. So this is a great one to use for sustainable development. If you're doing cross-curricular instruction or climate change education, you can fit some of these in with the SDGs. So let's go take a look at another one. This is a digital holiday bucket list. So as the holiday break is coming, if you want to keep your students engaged, you can have them complete their holiday bucket list. Again, click the plus icon. We have some different activities that are loaded here. They can pick what they want to do. Add it in, reorder them, and then navigate to the link. If it's including another widget or a link inside of it, back to the bucket list. Or if it's just a task to do, they can just check the box and it's done. All right. We have lots of examples. So this is just a few. Let's go take a look at a half and half planner. So these examples are good for differentiating lessons based on skill or performance. So if you want to kind of control how much choice your students have, but also if you want to make sure that you're providing them with some differentiated instruction, the half and half is the way to go. Let's open link in new window. And all right, so this one is for 1 hour of code. They're going to do one math activity and one reading activity from the planner list. But we can see on this that we already have some items that are there. So I, as the teacher, have built in this initial task, and then I can choose from the list to add some additional ones. So it's a little bit of a half and half. I also want to point out some accessibility. So if you notice on the icons on our task cards, we have the audio icon.
Welcome to our choice board. You must complete the hour of code dance activity.
So this is a great way for your emerging readers, your language learners, but even just your auditory folks or just need practice with auditory processing to build in some additional information, some support by having the audio onto the task. And I'll show you where this is that you can add this in. So again, I'm going to clear it, start over. You can see, even though I've cleared it, there's these 3 tasks are still there. I can go through the list. I have to pick a math activity. I've added it. I want to put the math together. All right, I got to go to reading. I got to select one. So I've done my math, selected it. Now I got to go to reading. Scroll down, select a reading one. I'll check that one. And now I know I've selected one. There we go. So now I can focus on what I need to do. So we're supporting their executive functioning with this as well. And then if I need to return to the instructions, this time the instructions are up here in the eye, that I can make that appear or disappear as needed. Let's take a look at another one. So this one is also supporting executive functioning. And this is about helping our students organize their school bag. So for your elementary educators out there, you may find this useful. So do you have these items in your book bag? But you can also see the plus icon. There's some additional things that they can choose from to add in. Like if they know, oh, swimwear, I have swim practice after school, I got to add that to my bag. Now it's there. And then they can just check the box as they're at home, adding their items to their school bag. And you'll notice in some cases, we do have some additional widgets here. So this one gets them thinking about lunch ideas. So this could be something that, some recipes to look at with an embedded web page. So I can say, yup, I have my lunch and piece of fruit. And again, we also have the audio is there for additional support. All right, let's take a look at another. I did those 2. Okay, so now let's take a look at one that is a strict learning path planner. We have 2 examples of this. So this is for students who need structure and who need clear directions. Or you as the teacher, you have made it so that you want students to follow the task sequentially, that they need to do these things in order to build their understanding. So here we have our instructions. We have a lovely embedded video to help them out. And now they are to do this essay writing process in this order. And if you notice, I can't drag any of these topics around, these cards around like I could with the others, nor is there the plus icon up in the corner here. So again, strict learning path. As a student, I have to go through and do each of these things. And you can see with the arrow icon that there is something I have to go click on to go do. So here I have this particular widget for brainstorming. And you'll notice also to support their executive functioning, because I want to make sure that they're staying on task, but also not taking too long to do each step. This particular worksheet widget has a timer built into it. So the student would know, okay, I have no more than 10 minutes to work on brainstorming. And then once that's done, I can submit, go back to the planner, check the box that I've done that, and then continue on. So Olga, there you go. There's an English language arts example for you in addition to the book report one. And let's take a look at another one. So for you math folks out there, we got a planner for you too. Let's clear this and make sure I start over. Oh, nope. I have to do arithmetic level 1. I have to do level 2, pair matching, and a worksheet. So you can see that this is a personalized learning plan for student 1. So this is an individual plan for an individual student, personalizing it for them for math so that this way they know what tasks they need to do. So, and any other student that might need level 1 or level 2 support, you could do that. And same thing, click on the card. It takes you to the activity. If my internets want to behave, we'll close it out. Go back to it. Okay, I'll click on this one. There we go. So here, this opens up the arithmetic widget. The student can do the work and then use the back button to navigate back to the planner. And again, I, as the student, I can't move these cards around. This is a strict learning path. I must complete the tasks that are listed in the particular card. Okay, so showing you a few different examples, let's go take a look at how to create one. So just to give you an overview of the steps, you're going to first make sure when you create a new widget, you're going to add a title. We're going to define the category colors, add your task cards, add an initial task list, review advanced settings, and then add instructions. Okay, so step 1, we're going to go add a title and define the category colors. So let me switch over to my editor view. So I've logged into my BookWidgets account. I'm on the Home tab, and I want to create a new widget. Well, I can either hit the blue Create a Widget button here, or in the top navigation, navigate to Create, and then also hit Create New Widget with that blue button. When I hit that button, it's going to open up our list of all of our wonderful widget types. So many to choose from. And the planner is found all the way down here at the bottom in the miscellaneous category with the planner. All right, now, if you notice also, we have an icon in the corner here. So this widget, even though students are not necessarily submitting answers that are right or wrong, so the box with the check mark in it means that this widget supports submissions for grading and feedback, that there's right or wrong answers. This particular widget, there aren't right or wrong answers because they're just checking the box if they have done the activity or not. So we do allow, though, for live monitoring. But keep in mind, live monitoring is only if you share this planner through your learning management system. All right, but we'll come back to that in a bit. All right, so let's click on Planner. And now I'm in the editor view of our widget that we're going to create. I know it's the planner because it says it right here. And our very first step is to give it a title. So I'm going to pick, I'm going to say Shakespeare. So I'm going to make a planner widget all about Shakespeare for today. You could pick any topic your little heart desires. Okay, so I've got my title. I'm in the general tab, and you can see as soon as I've given my widget a name, the title automatically populates in this field. If I want to have the back button be more than just an arrow that goes back, I can say back to list. I could also be really creative. If I am supporting my emerging language learners, I could use specific vocabulary or phrase in the local language if they're, doing multiple languages. Again, you, the teacher, have freedom of choice to customize this as you so fit. The next thing in the general tab here that we want to check on is our category colors. So this is where you can organize tasks, the task cards, by assigning a color to them. You can use the colors that are already here, or you can click on the square, you can enter in the hex code, or you could pick a color that you so choose. If you really want to get creative, you can use some of those palette generators and then change all of your colors so that they're, lovely coordinated. All right, so we've done our category colors. I'm going to keep these other ones here. And when you think about like why categories, well, if you want to do, let's say, categories by skill type. So if you want to say speaking activities or listening activities, reading, writing, or if you want to say math, science, whatever your categories are that you want to have, the color coding makes it helpful. And even if you just say to your students, you need to pick, you know, 2 green activities and 3 purple activities, they don't see the word category, so they're not going to know necessarily what these colors are corresponding to. But you, as the educator and as the designer of the learning experience, can do that. Now, if you want to, let's say, help yourself out to remember what these categories are, you can come up here to the About section. And if we go to Edit, here in this area, you can say category 1 equals, writing activity. Category 2 equals speaking, etc. Whatever you want to have the categories are. If you want to make a key for yourself so that you remember, you can do that in the About section. Students will never see this. Only editors of the widget. So if you're in this particular view, when you have access to the editor view, this is only visible to editors. Okay. So it's just a place to help you keep yourself organized as the educator. All right, let's go back to our slides and make sure I didn't miss anything. So yeah, we're going to add a title. We did that. We've defined our category colors. And as I said, you can use color palette generator tools like Coolers or Color Magic or Color Space if you want to get really artistic. Our next step is to add our task cards. And we're going to go to predefined tasks to complete this. We're going to give them a label, a category, an image, audio fragment, and a link. So let's go back to our editor. So general is where we've defined our category colors, but now we're going to go to predefined tasks. Okay, so here I'm going to add a task. I need to give my task a label. I'm going to say the Globe Virtual Tour. For this, I can from the drop down select categories. So if I want to color code it, I can pick a color. I can add an image. If I have an image, this is going to be what appears in the tile. So let me show you. If you add in a widget, you're going to see the icon for the widget activity appear in the tile. If you are adding a link like this one, when I hit preview, you'll see what it looks like. Okay, let's go to preview of the widget. Okay. It's up here in the plus icon. You'll see now that this activity has the planner icon is a placeholder for this. But if I say, I really want to make sure that this looks prettier, I'm going to exit out of preview. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to add an image. Now, I can choose an image from my own personal files. I can import it from Google Drive. I can also find an image online. And this is using the Pixabay integration that we have. So I can search. Let's see. I want something more of an icon. Let's do, you know what? I'll use this. Theater Mass. Okay, so now let's go to preview and you'll see where that image appears. Now that image appears in that tile. Okay, so if you wanted to do, again, thinking speaking, reading, writing, you could find icons for those types of tasks, using iconography as your images to support your visual learners. Okay, an audio fragment. Here, I'm going to hit on the plus icon. And again, I can choose a file. I can import from Google Drive, or I could record. Just note that any audio you add to your task cards has to be, it can't be an hour-long podcast that you're adding in. It needs to be fairly short. So we're going to hit record. Navigate to the website and access the 360-degree tour of the Globe Theater. I'll hit play. Navigate to the website and access the 360-degree tour of the Globe Theater. Okay, it's good enough. I'm going to hit accept. And then now let's go back to preview and take a look. You can see here is that audio icon that has appeared on the task card. Okay, I have to add that audio. And then when they click the arrow here, it will take them to that particular web page. Okay. Now, if you notice, I don't have, because I went to a web page, I don't have that back button up here. I got to use the back button of my web browser. If I want this particular web page, this link, to open in a new tab, I can click the box, check the box, and then it will do that. Let's go back to preview. I'm going to click it. Now you'll see up at the top, I have two tabs that have now opened and can just close that tab to be able to get back to the widget. Okay. Let's exit out of student view. Let's add another predefined task. So I just showed you dropping in a link to a web page. Super easy. Copy, paste the link, drop it in. It's there. Let's add another one. For this one, I'm going to do a widget activity. And I'm going to give it a label. Let's go Life and Times. I'm going to pick a different color just so you can see what that looks like. I'm going to not do an image yet, nor an audio fragment, so just hold that thought. But I am going to come down here, and in this time, what I want to do is select a widget to add to this planner. When I select a widget, it opens up this view where I can have my widgets. I'm selecting from widgets I've already created that I could add in. but I'm going to show you a great place to go to find some already created widgets. We're going to come here to the BookWidgets blog group. So this is a public group that anyone can join. And if you have not joined the BookWidgets blog group, you need to get in there, because now what I can do, I know I'm going to be doing Shakespeare. I can just type in Shakespeare in the search box here and it'll filter. Wait for it. Boom, there they all are. And now I can say, what do I want to do? Shakespeare, the early years. Okay. And I can check this. And then boom, it's automatically added it to my planner for me. And then when my students go and do this particular widget, the answers will come to me. So that's really useful to be able to find widgets that you don't have to create yourself. You can use them, what we've already created. So now, where is it? Where is that new widget I just added, that task? Don't forget, it's in the plus icon. And then there it is, life and times. And you can see now for this one, we have the split worksheet icon is our placeholder for this particular task card. Okay. Now you'll notice, I'm going to save that for a minute. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Okay. Let's go add another one. We'll do hip hop or Shakespeare. I'll give it another category. Just pick a different color. I'm going to keep those. Select widget. I'm in the blog. There it is, hip hop or Shakespeare. I'm going to pick these flashcards, add them in. And then now, if I need to preview the widget, I can go do that. But we're just going to preview the whole planner. Plus, there it is. Okay. And if you remember those category colors, here they are on the ends of each of the task cards. And then I can navigate to there it is. And then I can navigate back to my planner list. Okay. Let's go back to the slides. So we've created what's called an empty planner. So students, again, have to click on the icon to be able to add the task to their list of what they need to do. But if we want to make this something where students have to follow, I don't want them to have too much choice. I need them to complete the task that I want them to complete. I want it already populated on the planner. We're going to add an initial task list. Okay. And we got to use the exact title as is the labels of our predefined task list. Okay. So easy thing to do. Let's go back. I have my hip hop or Shakespeare. Let's go back to predefined tasks. So I have my three different items here. And go into each one. I'm just going to copy it. I'm going to go to General. And down here to Initial Task List, I'm going to add that title. Hit Enter. Go back to Predefined, Life and Times. Grab it. Go back to General. Go back to Initial Task List. And paste it in. Okay. Now I'm intentionally leaving one out so that you can see. So I have, these are my initial tasks. These are what are going to appear on the planner automatically. So let's hit preview so you can see the student view. And let me trash can it. Okay, so I have determined that I want my students to do these two tasks. They must do them so they automatically appear on the planner. And then here I have choice. Those other tasks I've created, they're listed here in the plus icon. So there's that hip hop or Shakespeare that I did not add. Okay. So if you want to make a planner that is a strict learning path, you will need to add your predefined tasks to the initial task list and make sure that it is spelled, capitalized, and spaced exactly, which is why I did the copy paste from predefined tasks back to general and the initial task list. Okay. I know it's a lot of steps there, but I'm sure you can handle it. So next is step 5 is some advanced settings. So now what we want to do is determine how strict do we want to be with this learning path. So if we want to allow students to reorder tasks, they can check the box. If we want to allow, we have to check the box in our settings. We can allow students to insert tasks. We can allow them to define new tasks. They could create their own, or we can allow them to delete tasks. So you can have a half and half planner with this one where you are defining tasks. They can't add in new ones, nor can they delete the ones that are there. But there is a little bit of choice. So let's go to the settings so you can see where that is. Okay, so under general, we have our initial task list. We have under advanced, these are the boxes. They're automatically checked to allow students to reorder, to insert, define, and delete. But if you want to not allow students to add anything, you uncheck the box and then they cannot add another task. Same thing, if you don't want them to insert tasks, you can do that too. Okay. Checking the boxes or unchecking them accordingly. All right. And then if you want to have a strict path, you uncheck all of those boxes that they cannot do any modification of the planner whatsoever. And then if you have them all checked, then it's more open that they can do that. Okay. So also don't forget under the general tab to add some instructions for your students so they have context for what you want them to do, maybe what the colors stand for, and why you want them to complete the tasks that they have. So instructions are right here underneath advanced. You can add those instructions for the students. Use some rich text formatting. You can insert images, links to videos, insert audio, insert an embedded web page or a table to tell them what you need them to do. Yep. Okay. So let's talk now about sharing a planner widget with colleagues. So we're talking about collaboration here. So just like any other widget, you can share a planner with your colleagues or with other teachers. And of course, you're sharing it with your students. It's also important that you are sharing both the planner and all the embedded widgets. So I'm going to show you some of those steps. So let's first go back to our planner. So I've made my planner. I've added some of the tasks and allow it to be checked. Okay. I'm going to hit the share button up here. And now I can share this particular planner with students. I can share a link. So if I'm just using the web and accessing BookWidgets through the web, I don't have a learning management system. I just copy this link and I can send it in an email. I can post it to a web page. I can post it wherever I need my students or folks I want to complete this widget. I can put it there. I can also share it via QR code. So if I have my students on devices, I can project this on my front board, have students use their iPads. Let's say it's a station activity. They can scan the code, and then the widget will open up on their device. So I can also like create stations, print out these QR codes, paste them around the room, get my students up moving and using their devices. If I'm integrated with a learning management system like Google Classroom, I can send to Google Classroom and select what class specifically I want to send to, but make sure that you're connected first. Same thing with Microsoft Teams. If I'm integrated and have my Microsoft or Google accounts connected, then I can send to my Microsoft Teams account. And then I can also do a short code. So again, I can have students see this code, type it in when they go to the web page to access the widget. And then if I want to share this with teachers, I want to share this with colleagues, I'm going to use the teacher link. So let me copy this. Let me paste it into a new window so you can see what happens when it opens it up. When I open it up, here we have this green make a copy in my account. So I'm going to hit this button. So I've shared this widget with you. We're opening it up. And then now I am in the editor view of this particular widget. Since this is about collaboration, that you're in a space where you have multiple teachers together. So I'm going to go back to my account in a second and I'll show you that. You want to create a new folder within this group to organize that shared content. You want to duplicate the planner widget and all the other widgets that are included in that planner that you want to share. And this is going to make sure that everything comes together and it's all organized in one space. And then you can inform your teachers that they can find your shared planner in the designated group. So why don't we go to here in my Cheryl plus Kate. Okay. And if I have my planner in here, then I can direct her to come here and she'll be able to access the planner accordingly. So I have this particular widget. Here's my make a copy in my account. So I want to make a copy in my account. Okay. Make a copy in my account. And now I see it populated here. It's in my widgets. Let's go to create. I'm going to close it. And then here I see it added into my account. So this right now is just for me in my particular account. It's not in the group. Let's go duplicate. So I want to duplicate this though, because I want it to be in that, I want to share it with a colleague. So I've spent the time to create it. I'm going to go find my group. There's my Cheryl plus Kate group. I want to share it with Cheryl. And I'm going to duplicate it here. Now, this is what I want to make sure you see. So this particular Sustainable Goals planner has all of those other activities in it. When I duplicate it, I want to make sure all of those, because I'm making a copy not only of the planner, but also of all the activities within it, so that I can edit it, I can differentiate the instruction. So if I use the original link, it's not going to make any changes. But what I want to do is I want to create a duplicate. And then for each of the activities here, it's going to default to create a duplicate. We can create a duplicate or use the original link. If you need to edit the widget, then you want to create a duplicate. If you don't need to edit it and it's just something that they're looking at, you don't need to change it. You can use the original link. Okay. So you can go through each of the items. I mean, this is a pretty big one that I picked to show because I hadn't duplicate. There's a lot of stuff in here. There's so many things that you could choose. And then I can hit duplicate and then it's going to appear in that group. And you can see it's working. And the larger the widget, of course, the longer it's going to take to duplicate. All right, let's go back to our slides. So again, keeping things organized in a folder to share content is really useful. Helps to make sure that you, again, organize so you can find your materials very quickly and that you are collaborating with colleagues. So as I just showed you, when others want to copy your planner and modify it for their account, you have to duplicate the entire planner. And then you want to duplicate the specific widgets inside of that planner that you want to modify. And this ensures that you have multiple copies for editing. Okay. And then that's a nice, easy way to collaborate and differentiate your instruction. Okay. Now, when it comes to monitoring your planner, you need to make sure that you are sharing that widget through a learning management system. So the students under live widgets, they're not submitting a planner. There's nothing for them to submit. They're just checking the box that they have completed it. So we don't need to collect that from them. But it is really useful to see how they are, to monitor the activity during the process. So you want to see what they're checking off, how far they have done. So you can share the widget through your learning management system, open up the live view, and then you can monitor the activity and see where each student is in checking off the tasks on the planner. You will receive answers separately for each widget if you have widgets in there within the planner. So you will still receive answers, though, for any widget that's linked inside the planner for answers to submit. Okay, so lots of resources to help you out with all of this as you continue your learning journey. So, and let me go back to show you where you can find, when you go to follow, this is where you can see the live widgets. We don't have any activity. I wasn't able to share the planner with you because you're not in my Google Classroom or Microsoft Teams. But this is where you would be able to do the live tracking to see what students have completed or not within the planner. And then if you have any additional questions, you can always reach out to us at support@bookwidgets.com. Ask Frederick a lovely question and he'll gladly answer. You can also check out all of our previous webinars when you go to bookwidgets.com/webinars. This is where we have our recorded webinars, and I'll show you that page real quick. Everything is organized in our BookWidgets Teacher Academy so that you can come in and register for some upcoming ones, as well as view our previous courses and those learning management systems. We have how to get started in each one of those, as well as some pedagogical topics, some widget focused ones. So if you want to learn more, you can go there. We also have our tutorials that are both print and digital. You'll find those in your help section of BookWidgets, along with our knowledge base. The BookWidgets Facebook group is a great place to go to connect with other BookWidget teachers. And then last, and certainly not least, is that BookWidgets blog. We have all of those articles on various pedagogical topics. And then every article that we write includes widget activities. And all of those widget activities can be found in the BookWidgets blog group, which is also linked here in the slides. So I'm so glad our roads have crossed. I'm going to pause the recording so that we can take some questions. So thank you, everyone who have joined us for today. I'm also going to drop in the chat the link to the evaluation. So thank you again for joining me today.